the Whitsle. This week we're talking baseball and golf. It's again Jacob Townsend, Trey Adams. We're back 3 straight weeks for me and you, Trey.
Telling you, are you liking this? Are you enjoying this?
I like it well. I like it well. I'm going to miss next week, but
that's true.
We'll get to that later. And Steph Montgomery's our guy this week.
Glad to have me. I'm doing good.
All right, let's start off on ETSU baseball. Trey, what's going on with Joe Panucci and the Bucks?
Panucci is playing very well. 13-7 is ETSU in their first 20 games. They one of the notable things that's happened to them already this year, they picked up a series win against Tennessee. Won both games and come from behind fashion.
In Knoxville.
Yep. First game, the Bucks were down 7-6 going into the 9th inning. Scored 4 runs from heroes like Caleb Longley. He led off with a triple in the 9th inning. 2 more runners reached, and Jackson Greer helped with a sac fly to give the Bucks the late inning lead. Ethan Rice knocked in a double, and Chris Cook got his 4th win of the day, or got his 4th hit of the day, not win of the day, but hit of the day to give the Bucks a 10-7 advantage. Tennessee scored 2 runs in the 9th, but Aaron Mayer got the save and held off the hard-charging balls in the bottom of the 9th. And in the second game that happened just a couple of weeks ago, the Bucks faced a similar situation. In the first game, the Vols scored 4 runs in the first inning, and ETSU was struggling. Jackson Greer did the same thing that he did in the first game. He hit a home run. Stepped up 2-run home run in the 3rd. The Bucks and Vols traded runs back and forth, and then in the 7th inning, ETSU opened it up and scored 4 runs, 9-6 lead. Drew Korzybski had stellar pitching in the 8th and 9th inning, and ETSU won 9-6. So the next matchup is against UNC Asheville tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night at home?
Yeah,
at home. Over at Thomas Stadium, or as some people like to call it for some godforsaken reason, the Tom. Seth, ETSU softball had a tough one yesterday. I heard. I wasn't in attendance. They did get they split the 2-game series that was supposed to be 3. Got another rain out for ETSU softball. Been happening to them a lot lately against Sanford. What's the thoughts on the Bucks?
Well, to be honest, I really haven't kept up with ETSU softball this season, so I really don't know how well they're doing. But I know last year they made it to the College World Series, correct, then lost in the first round. So hopefully they do have a good season this year.
Looking at ETSU softball, they've 5 out of the last 8 games that's either been postponed or canceled due to weather conditions. They picked up action yesterday. I was actually at the games yesterday. So the first game was exciting. Well, actually, both games were exciting. The first game, there was a lot of runs scored. Madison Ogle had great pitching. She gave up runs only in the, I think, the 3rd or 4th inning. They was tied up at 1-1, and then ETSU just knotted it up. Lauren Lee scored, Emma Martindale scored, Vanessa Elliott scored. ETSU was up 5-3. At the bottom of the 5th, they cut it to 2 more runs. Sanford did. But in the 6th inning, ETSU scored an insurance run from Vanessa Elliott, and then Ogle ended the contest. Great pitching in the top of the 7th to give the Bucks the win. In the second game, there was a controversial ending. So let me set the scenario for you. Sanford led 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. ETSU had a chance to win the game. Lauren Lee flew out to center, and it was only 1 out, so made the second out. Looking at the end of the game, Emma Martindale tagged from 3rd, went home and slid, and her foot, she was safe. Her foot caught home, but the umpire called her out. So a controversial ending to an otherwise very good second game in the doubleheader. So.
Yep, and so they split. They're now, I believe, 13-14 on the season. That was their first games of the SoCon season. They'll be on the road at Mercer this weekend. Hopefully they can actually get to play some. We got about a minute left here before we take a break here, fellas, but let's talk now ETSU football. They started spring practice 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, not all the way there yet. They had their first scrimmage on Saturday. I was there. The big conversation really right now is who's going to be the QB. Is it going to be the Austin Herrick, who's been the QB the past couple of years, or the transfer from Temple, Logan Markey, Seth? I was there. Herrick got first team snaps. Logan got second ones. Neither of them were anything to really write home about. What's your thoughts on the Bucks going forward?
Well, I think Austin, watching games last year, he did all right, especially in key moments in the pressure. But the quarterback from Temple, I think he has more experience than their bowl game last year, and I think their offensive coordinator came as well. And just having that experience with him too, I think he should probably be the starter.
Yeah,
going out through this season.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Logan's probably got a little bit of a better arm and probably runs a little bit better than Herrick as well. All right, we're going to take a break here on After the Whistle. We're going to come back and talk the NCAA tournament. Welcome back in After the Whistle. Jacob Townsend, Trey Adams, Seth Montgomery here with you tonight. We're now moving on from ETSU to the NCAA tournament. We will get to MLB and golf shortly. But Trey, we're now made it to the Final Four. Our 4 teams are Loyola Chicago, Michigan, Villanova, and Kansas. It was a wild weekend, though, in the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, like, there's just some exciting games. Duke, Kansas.
Yeah.
Loyola
definitely.
Chicago sneaking in there. Villanova as well. I honestly didn't get to really watch Sunday's games as much as I did Saturday's, so I kind of missed the more exciting games yesterday. Michigan also got in there, so I like the Final Four. It's a good Final Four. You got a Cinderella team in there. You got who I thought would be in there. You got a team that I thought would get eliminated pretty early, and then you got Michigan.
So who was the team you thought would get eliminated pretty early?
Kansas.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought Kansas is known for early eliminations, so I figured they would get. I figured they would get eliminated in the Sweet 16. That's where I thought they would go out.
Could you say Kansas took care of themselves?
God.
All right, Seth.
God.
Let's move on from that terrible joke I just put out there. But what are your thoughts going into the Final Four?
Well, I'm going to jump on the Loyola bandwagon
Oh.
here. Yeah, Sister Jane, you know. But I think it's going to end against Michigan because Michigan has a great defense, one of the Big Ten, of course. I mean, let's just say it's going to end and no blessings from above will come for them in the Final Four.
Okay. All right. I also like Michigan over Loyola. Michigan's the only Final Four team I have left from my beginning bracket. This is the best defense John Beilein has had at Ann Arbor since he came to the Wolverines. They're known for their offense, but they weren't shooting it great against Florida State on Saturday night, and were still able to pull it out. Let's talk a little bit about that game, Trey, against the Seminoles. 11 seconds left. Florida State down by 4. They do not foul. Leonard Hamilton is a little bit of what I would like to call a jackass after the game to Dana Jacobson of CBS
Or
or TBS.
Dana Jacobson, I'm telling
And
you.
what's your thoughts on this? How the Seminoles handled the late game situations?
Terrible. Butch Jones-esque, if you would like to put that scenario or quote in the show. I'm surprised that Florida State made it as far as they did. I mean, were they really that good this season?
Nope, they were terrible.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But, you know, Michigan with Moritz Wagner, who was the other guy that I had on there?
Charles Matthews?
Yeah, Charles Matthews.
The Kentucky transfer.
Duncan Robinson, all those guys. You know, Michigan's got a great team this season. Kind of going into Loyola Chicago versus Michigan. You know, Sister Jean and the Ramblers, and we're getting ready to drop a prayer quote for you, Jacob. They've had a run for the ages. They're the 4th 11 seed to make the Final Four. Unfortunately for 11 seeds making the Final Four, they've all had the same fate. LSU in 1986, George Mason in 2006, and VCU in 2011. All 3 got eliminated in the Final Four. So they're going to quite literally need a prayer from above to make the championship. If you look at what the Ramblers have, I mean, they got exciting players. They've had an exciting season. Clayton Custer, he's averaged 12 points during the tournament. Marquez Towns, he was the hero in the game against Nevada, which in your quote, would you go ahead and say what Nevada is?
Zombies. They just don't die, man.
They don't die.
They don't die.
Nevada, zombies don't die. And also, how about Cameron Krutwig? I mean, he's the freshman player of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference. I mean, and how about the Ramblers in 3 of their 4 tournament games? Let's talk about the first one. Dante Ingram hits game-winning shot against Miami, 64-62, the final there. Clayton Custer, this is going to break your heart, hits a game winner against the Volunteers, 63-62. Marquez Towns hits a decisive 3 with 6.3 to go to kill the Zombies of Nevada and win 69-68. And then they finally took a little bit of a break. No, they didn't need one Saturday. I didn't think that they would. I mean, they beat the hell out of Kansas State.
Yeah.
But in my prediction for this game right here, I think it's going to be a real close battle. I think Loyola Chicago is going to give everything they want to Michigan, but the Wolverines pull it out 84-79.
I want to backtrack just a tad to that Florida State game and just give you a little bit of a nugget on Michigan, Florida State. Michigan were 4.5-point favorites. Just going to throw it there. Maybe did Leonard Hamilton bet against his team? I don't know. Who am I to judge a guy's integrity? But
Is he
Michigan
the
up
new
by
Pete
4.
Rose of college basketball?
I just think maybe there should be an investigation. That's all I'm saying. Maybe
Well,
there
the
should be an
FBI's
investigation.
been doing a lot of that this year.
Yes,
Well,
they
maybe
have.
they should look into it. 4-point lead for Michigan. They're 4.5-point favorites. He didn't want to mess with it. Maybe I'm just going to lay it there. Just going to leave it there. Also,
I like that hot take.
Clayton Custer. What does that sound like? A 17th century war general? Like, what? No, he's got to go by Clay. Okay, he's got to take off the ton.
You don't like Clayton?
No, I don't like Clayton.
What if I named my son Clayton? Would you
Well,
not like that? Would you say that's terrible?
I'm sure.
We're getting awkward on this show.
Very
Let's move on.
awkward.
Let's
Very
move on. Let me
awkward.
take
He's
a
also
drink.
from Lawrence, Kansas. Could have went to Kansas. Kansas didn't look at him. There you
Well,
go.
You know what?
I like Michigan. Trey likes Michigan. Seth Montgomery, do you like the Ramblers?
I hate to say this, but I'm going to go with Michigan.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I
gonna
don't
go
like
with-
this, guys.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I kind of feel like I should move my pick to Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
We're too all on this.
Two equal?
Up to it.
Well, that's a good thing, Trey. That's a
That's
good thing.
good.
That's
Well,
what
I
I'm being
changed my
told.
pick. Yeah, let's
Solid.
go. Let's go with Loyola.
You're going to go
by two-
Loyola?
Yeah,
We're
buzzer
changing
beater.
picks here, folks.
Yeah,
We're changing
by
picks.
buzzer beater.
Hope you didn't
Buzzer
write that
beater.
down.
Yeah.
But by a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Not by like .3.
No.
Because they
Mark it
left
in
point
stone.
.3.
Yeah.
Mark
Okay.
it in stone.
Mark it in
Write it
stone.
Let's
down.
move to Villanova, Kansas, Trey.
Okay. This is going to be a great matchup. This might be one of the
Should
best
be.
Final Four
Yeah.
matchups in a long time. Jay Wright and the Wildcats, hungry for their third national championship in school history. They missed out on it last year. They won in 2016 on a buzzer beater against North Carolina. And Bill Self and the Jayhawks seeking their first national championship since 2008. Who do they play in 2008?
North Carolina.
Memphis.
and
Memphis.
Memphis in the
Yeah,
title game. North
Memphis.
Carolina in the
Where do they
Final
play it
Four.
at? San Antonio.
Antonio.
They might have a little bit of advantage. I'll be honest with you. Look, going off course a little bit, I like the NCAA championship being played more of in a basketball arena than I
Yes.
do in NFL or stadium or anything. But going back to Villanova here, the Villanova's path has been somewhat of a breeze. They've won every game by double digits. Jalen Brunson has been a major part of why the Wildcats are rolling right now. Mikal Bridges, Amari Spellman. They had huge games against West Virginia in the 90-78 victory. Looking at Kansas, they're kind of lucky to be in the Final Four. I mean, they had a tough matchup against Seton Hall. If not for Grayson Allen's almost buzzer beater in regulation, they might have got eliminated as well. I like Villanova by 2 points in this.
Yeah.
I like them 84-82. I think they're going to give Kansas everything they want.
Okay. Trey's got Michigan, Villanova in the title game. Seth, who you like, Wildcats or Jayhawks?
I like Villanova. Like Trey said, they got the Player of the Year, Big East Player of the
Yeah,
Year
Big
on their
East Player
team.
of the
Yeah. Like I said, they've decently blown out their opponents, and I think it's going to be a good one between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Villanova Wildcats. So I
Okay.
got Villanova.
Villanova. I'm going to take Kansas.
Okay.
I'm going to be the outsider.
Okay,
here.
I like it.
And that's
Yeah.
not because you all said you like Villanova. I'm not trying to be the contrarian here. Like you said, Bill Self, third time to the Final Four. 08, made it to the title game, won in overtime. The Mario Chalmers shot to get it to overtime to take down Memphis. 2012, made it to the title game, lost to Anthony Davis's Kentucky team. This year, I think he makes it to the title game again. I think they beat Villanova. I think it's going to be a good game. But I tell you, I think Devontae Graham's will be the difference maker. And maybe the hottest player in the tournament right now is Malik Newman, the transfer from Mississippi State. Had 32 points yesterday against Duke, I think 13 in overtime. And
Yeah,
then
he scored all 13 points for the
and he hit
Jayhawks
the
in
shot who
overtime.
got it into overtime.
And how about
So,
Aduba Azubike?
yeah,
I mean,
if he
he's also
if he can stay out of foul trouble,
Yeah, that's
he's really
true.
good. And he got Mikhailuk.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to try to say his first name. His last name was hard enough. So
Yeah.
we're going to just leave that at Mikhailuk. Michigan, Villanova for you. Who's going to be the national champs? Trey Adams.
Nova.
Nova wins it all. But is it going to be a close game on
It's going to
Monday
be a
night?
very close game. Going to be overtime, 78-74.
78-74, Wildcats' second title in 3 years, Seth. You've also got you got Loyola.
Yeah,
going up, excuse
Loyola.
me. The Battle of the Catholics.
Yeah.
Who's more Catholic? Did you see that on Twitter that Jay Wright's trying to say that the Pope's behind Villanova?
I think the Ramblers are not as Catholic as the Wildcats.
Okay. Loyola, Villanova.
Yeah.
Who's going to be dancing to one shiny moment?
Nova will be dancing, and I got them, let's say, 86-74. 84.
86,
It'd be-
84,
it'd be a
high
close one,
scoring.
yeah.
Okay.
So
all
you're
right.
saying the Ramblers don't have a Hail Mary left in them?
No, I don't think they have.
I'm telling you, I'll be here all night.
All right, I'm going to take Michigan over Kansas. Title game, rematch of the Elite Eight from 2013. We'll be back on After the Whistle. Welcome back into After the Whistle. Jacob Townsend, Trey Adams, Seth Montgomery here with you. Moving on from ETSU NCAA tournament, now to the MLB. They're in spring training right now. Looks like the Brewers have been a little bit the best in the Cactus League, but the team who's dominated a lot of the offseason conversation, Trey, and done pretty well in the Grapefruit League themselves, the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox, Houston Astros, the top two. The Red Sox sit at 20-9, and the Astros sit at 19-9. You could be looking at a potential American League Championship matchup there if the Yankees don't get in there, which we'll get into eventually. Looking at the National League, though, I mean, the National League, besides the Nationals and the Dodgers, those two teams, I mean, you know, I really don't know about the National League as much as the American League, so it's going to be interesting to see how the National League does this year. But for the American League, those are your definite top two teams.
Yep. Seth, I believe you told me earlier you are a Red Sox fan.
I am.
They pick up J.D. Martinez in the offseason. Big pickup late with
Yeah.
the craziness that was the free agency for the MLB. That was the lack of. What's your thoughts on your team going forward, going into 2018?
JD is a big move
Yeah.
to replace David Ortiz since he's retired a few years ago. You got to replace that big at bat. You got Mookie Betts, bullpen as in David Price, Chris Sale. I think we're going to at least have a chance to win the AL East because I'm afraid about the New York Knickerbockers because they got Aaron Judge, Martinez, and Giancarlo Stanton. So it's going to be pretty tough in the AL East for my Red Sox.
Two of those three guys could potentially be on steroids. Just throwing that out
Wow.
there.
Oh.
That's a hot take for me, but
That's a
that's
Doug
just
Gottlieb
throwing
move
out.
right there.
Yeah, that is. I hate Doug Gottlieb. Anyway,
But I like the Red Sox. I like what they're doing. But let's talk about the defending champs here. They're 19-9 in the Grapefruit League. Spring training does not mean anything for what's going to happen in the regular season. But the Astros didn't lose much. I believe they did gain Garrett Cole to add to the rotation with Justin Verlander and Dallas Keuchel. Seth, what's the thoughts on the reigning champs?
I think, well, the Astros, they surprised me last year going to the World Series, winning it all. It was a great World Series between the LA Dodgers. I really haven't kept up with them this offseason, but I think they do have a chance making it to the playoffs again and winning the AL West, I think. And that's why I got on the Astros.
Okay. It's still weird for me to say the Astros are in the
Yeah.
NL West. I still think of them as the NL Central.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on the defending champs, Trey?
I mean, we're kind of getting into a segment early, but talking about what the Astros have. They have Justin Verlander, not just in September, but for the entire season now. Like you mentioned, they added Jarrett Cole from the Pirates. He had a 4.26 ERA last year, 12-12 record, 196 strikeouts, very impressive. Lance McCullers Jr., he's a potential Cy Young candidate. They really didn't make any major offseason moves. They got Jose Altuve, Marwin Gonzalez, Carlos Carrera. I mean, they're loaded. They are loaded.
Yep.
And I like the Astros to be a force to be reckoned with in the American League this season. Yeah,
Again.
Again, yeah.
All right, let's move on to what we're looking into the future there a little bit. Let's get to the present. Opening day is Thursday, 3 days from now. Let's talk about a couple of those games on Thursday that we need to keep an eye on, Trey.
Depending on who you like in baseball, you're definitely going to want to watch the Houston Astros taking on the Texas Rangers, the defending World Series champions. Look to start strong against crosstown rival Texas. Another one, New York at Toronto at 3:37. The offseason trades may put the Yankees in contention for a deep playoff run. Luis Serrano climbs the mound against Toronto Blue Jays, who had a terrible season last year, but lost 86 games, missed the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. And then later in the evening, the LA Dodgers, the World Series runner-up, taking on the San Francisco Giants. They had a heartbreaking Game 7 loss, which we'll get to here in a moment. They look to get off to a hot start. The Giants had a real bad year last year, dropped 98 games, finished dead last in the National League West Division. So going to be some good games on Thursday night for opening day. I'm looking forward to my Mariners at 10-10.
Who they're taking on?
The Indians.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough. It's
Good
going to be
pitching matchup, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough way to start 0-3.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
wow. Kluber versus Corey Kluber versus Felix Hernandez. I love the pitching matchup in that Astros-Rangers game. My boy Cole Hamels versus Justin Verlander. I really like that.
But hot take alert, the Mariners will make the playoffs for the first time since 2001.
when
You
they
heard it here
win.
first. Very bold prediction.
Well, they win 100 games.
If they win 100 games, I'll be shocked.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You like that hot take?
I like it. I love it.
Beautiful.
Seth, let's talk about your Red Sox. They open up against the Rays at 4 o'clock on Thursday, which is a really good pitching match there as well. Chris versus Chris.
Yeah.
Sale versus Archer.
Well, Chris Sale, he's got an arm. He did pretty well last year. I really didn't keep up with the pitchers because I'm more of kept up with Ortiz. I'm more of like a offensive kind of guy. But the Rays are going to be competitive. They've always been like a trouble for us. Like I know last year, like we lost to them, and I think we didn't make the AL at least. I mean the playoffs. We did make a wild card, but it was just a tough year for us. But hopefully the Red Sox go 3-0 and they sweep the Rays.
Okay. All right. The Rays are supposedly going to be again one of the bottom feeders of the American League. So we'll see what happens there. My Braves, my Atlanta Braves, get a start at 4:10.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna be called racist. 4:10, first pitch. Julio Teheran versus Aaron Nola of the Phillies. The Braves were okay last year. They made an improvement. I think they're going to make another one this year. They're not going to make the playoffs.
I like me some Julio Teheran.
I
a
do
great
too.
pitcher.
At home, I do. At home, yes, I do. If this game was in Philadelphia, I do not.
Yeah.
I like what the Braves have done. They've rebuilt. They're trying to build it back up. I think they're going to win about 80 games this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in the wild card hunt in, let's say, late July. After the All-Star, they'll still be in the wild card hunt after the All-Star game. After that, they'll probably run out of gas. But I think they're going to get better. We have the newcomer, the new it kid, the new Chipper Jones that we're going to put out there in the infield, Roberto Acuna. He's supposed to be the next guy.
Whoa.
We even told him he's not allowed to wear his hat backwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is bold.
No King Griffey Jr. over here, kids.
That is bold.
So that's the way I look at it. I like the Braves. We talked about being in the present day. We've talked a little bit in the future. Now let's move back a little bit more to last year's World Series. Trey, really good one. Dodgers, Astros.
Wow, one of the best World Series of the 21st century. Let's just dive into Game 1. Record temperatures, 103 degrees. Y'all remember that game?
Yeah, David Ortiz was
real
sweating through
hot.
his suit.
Pitching duel between arguably two of the best pitchers in baseball, Dallas Keuchel, Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers took a Game 1 3-1 off stellar pitching. Clayton Kershaw, he threw 11 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits. Chris Taylor hit a home run on the first pitch to set the tone for Game 1 for the Dodgers. And it was the shortest World Series game since 1992, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Next game, Game 2. Like Game 1, a relatively low-scoring game through most of the game, but it set up an extra innings epic finale. Down 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth. Marwin Gonzalez, home run, tied the game, send it to the 10th. Y'all remember that one?
Yep.
After both teams combined for 4 runs in the 10th inning, George Springer, 2-run shot in the 11th, gave Astros the lead. Dodgers could not come back. And game combined for most home runs between two teams in World Series history. And in the notable Game 5, the one where they scored 200,000 runs.
Yep.
One of the best World Series games I think I've ever seen.
It was like a Big 12 football game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clayton Kershaw, Dallas Keuchel back on the mound again from their Game 1 rematch, except it was not anything like the first matchup. The second matchup was totally different. Houston kicked things off, 3 home runs in the first inning, quickly put the Dodgers in a hole. Kershaw only threw for 4 2/3 innings, 2 team straight of blows throughout the rest of the game, and then it turned out to be another extra innings game. Alex Bregman became a hero, hitting a game-winning single to give the Astros a 13-12 win. A lot of records were broken in this one. Second longest game in World Series history, 5 hours, 17 minutes. Also saw the record for most home runs in a World Series fall when Dodgers' Yasiel Puig hit the 22nd home run in the World Series in general. And then another record fell as a combined 14 players had hit at least 1 home run throughout the series. So I mean, there's a crazy World Series, and then it's set up for Game 7. Houston pulled away and got the win. So a little bit of a recap of last year's crazy World Series.
Greatest one ever?
No.
No. Okay.
My personal favorite, the Diamondbacks versus the Yankees in 2001.
One? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Seth, greatest one ever?
Cardinals, Red Sox, 04.
04 was pretty good. Okay. All right. Is
I
that a
know
little bit of
exactly why it was good
soft
for you.
heart?
Yeah.
I could pick the 1995 World Series, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the one I liked a lot, 2011 Cardinals Rangers. I like that one a lot.
that was good.
All right,
That
we'll
was
come
good.
back here on After the Whistle and give you our predictions. After the Whistle, Jacob Townsend, Trey Adams, Seth Montgomery here with you. We're going to keep talking some baseball. I wish some people could just be inside our commercial breaks. I wish they could. I wish they
The
could be
thing I
inside.
just read, not appropriate for this show, but pretty damn funny.
You were
Pretty
about
funny.
10 seconds away.
I was chuckling.
Let's talk some bold predictions for the 2018 season, Trey. Not any bold as what you just did during the break, but let's give a few to them. Give a few to the audience. What's some predictions for this season?
I mean, I love my Mariners to make the playoffs predictions. Kind of like Tennessee
Me
winning
too.
the national championship. It's never going to happen, but I know that hurt. But how about the bold prediction? The Yankees will not win the AL East despite the trade with Giancarlo Stanton and having David Price back. Well, of course, that's the Boston Red Sox. They have him back healthy.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton, power hitter to the roster. You got to keep that in mind. He's had trouble staying healthy. In the past couple of years, he's only played 123 games or fewer in 4 of the past 6 seasons. And then rookie sensation Aaron Judge, he's a really great player, but he went through a 55-game span where he struck out 84 times and 189 at-bats.
Yeah.
A lot of strikeouts, whiffs a lot. Will he go through the sophomore slump this season? I think he will. I give the edge to the Boston Red Sox in the AL East.
Good news for you, Seth, or bad news?
Yes.
Okay, you got another one for us?
Another
Give
one.
us one more. and
Okay.
we'll move to Seth.
I like bold predictions.
Who doesn't?
We kind of mentioned this last segment.
Okay.
Astros will put away the American League West by June.
Don't like the Angels? The Angels made some moves.
No, I don't.
Okay.
They got Mike Trout and a couple, and can't remember the other guy's name, but
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute
Okay.
too. Defending world champion Houston Astros, basically the same roster as last year. No major offseason moves. They got Justin Verlander. He's an ace. They got him the whole season. Mentioned Jarrett Cole and Lance McCullers in the potential Cy Young candidate last year in the last segment. They're poised to have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. And you got to keep in mind Marvin Gonzalez, Carlos Carrera, Jose Altuve. I mean, the same guys that were key in the Astros 2017 World Series victory. They got the same guys back. Look for them to make some noise in the AL West and potentially have a nice little spot in the World Series for the second straight year.
Okay, all right. Seth, you got one for us? Give me
Will-
one. If you got more than one,
Okay.
go ahead, babe.
Well, the Cleveland Indians in their championship drought.
They win it all?
They win it all. Let's go.
Man, okay.
I want them. I know Cleveland fans are disappointed. I mean, they got to win some. I mean, they threw a parade for having the Browns going 0-16, so they need a little bit of victory somewhere in Cleveland.
Okay, you got another one for us? Anything big about your Red Sox?
The Red Sox.
Are you scared now that they?
I'm scared about the Yankees.
Are you scared now that Trey picked them? That you're scared that's going to?
I know. I'm scared about. I'm scared about Aaron Judge.
I have been known to be the Skip Bayless of ETSU, so
I know.
I might be. It might be the kiss of death if I pick the Red Sox.
I'm scared.
And the Mariners.
I'm scared about the Red Sox. I mean, Aaron Judge
And the Astros.
Giancarlo Stanton. Just them two. I'm just afraid what they're going to do. If you're opposing pitcher, be scared because they're going to send it.
But think about Aaron Judge though. Would it be a terrible thing after the rookie season he had, the home run derby he had, if his career turned out to be Adam Dunn? Would it be so bad? Would it be bad? Adam Dunn had a nice career, played a good long time. And he's a lot like Aaron Judge. It's either strikeout or home run. There's not much in between. I don't think that'd be a terrible thing. I think we need to bring down the expectations on hear the Aaron Judge. Okay, let's give he's not Giancarlo. Can we say he's not Stanton?
Yeah.
No,
he's not Stanton yet.
He's not Stanton. Not even close.
Stanton's done it for a good
yeah.
portion of the time in the National League. Now bring it to the American League. We'll see what happens there.
Oh, you'll like this.
Go ahead.
Trust me, I watched him play too. He reminds me of a good Evan Gaddis.
Oh, God.
Dropping that one in there.
No. As a Braves fan, just no. That people actually thought that guy was going to be better than Brian McCann was not just sinful, it was criminal, is what that was.
I never liked Brian McCann.
You're a hater. We've
I
always
mean,
known.
you know, he never really, I don't know. I just didn't.
That
like
was a
him.
leader is what he was. He's a leader.
Leader. BS.
Okay, Trey, you guys started talking about your bold predictions. Let's move to the big off-season trades. We just got done talking about Stan. I think he's probably the biggest one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, let me just read you last year's stats.
Okay.
281 average, 32 doubles, 59 home runs, 132 RBIs, 123 runs. There you go.
Wow.
He's not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Those are not amateur numbers.
No.
Not at all.
He was carrying some bad water around in Miami. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about their ocean. I'm talking about a bad organization. But I like this guy who's number 2 on your list. I've already seen it. This guy's supposedly going to be special. This guy's boom or bust. He's going to change the game, or we're never going to hear from him again. Shohei Ohtani.
Is he the next Ichiro? But pitching?
He's supposed to be better than Ichiro at pitching, hitting.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the hottest
Living in
international
LA?
free agents. He's signed with the Angels from Japan. You know, he's going to provide help to Mike Trout and some other players. He'll be a very tough pitcher to face. And that could be the X factor in the upset of the AL West. Now, I personally like the Astros in that division.
By June.
Yeah. The main concern that they discussed that I was reading earlier today, they had a sprain in his UCL. So maybe staying healthy moving forward. We'll see how interesting that goes.
Okay. And give me one more huge one.
Marcell Ozuna. He was acquired from the Marlins to the Cardinals. You see the Miami Marlins, they really like to destroy anything that's good. Look at 1997 and 2003 after they won the World Series for your prime example. The Cardinals missing out on Stanton was very tough. I mean, they had a chance to get Giancarlo Stanton, but Marcell Ozuna getting them pretty huge. Last season, left fielder, he hit 312, 37 home runs, 124 RBIs, not bad at all. Similar stats to Giancarlo Stanton. And the Cardinals, got to keep in mind, they also missed the playoffs in the second straight season. They're looking to get back there. They're in a pretty tough division, so getting Ozuna, that might be very helpful.
Yeah, I had Ozuna the past 2 years in fantasy baseball. Like him a lot. Helps out. He's a big help.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to let's do some predictions here. Who wins the AL East? You've got the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
You going to stick with your Red
Yeah, I'm
Sox?
gonna stick with
Okay.
Red Sox.
I'm going to go Yankees. I think they have enough talent, and Aaron Boone's going to be a pretty good manager in year one. Both of those teams going for year one managers, right? Cora, Alex Cora. All right, AL Central. Anybody not taking the Cleveland Indians?
I'm taking the Cleveland Indians.
Indians? Indians, and you took them
Yeah,
in the World
I'm
Series.
gonna take-
Unless they're going through the wild card, you like them as well?
I like the Indians.
AL West, anybody not taking the Astros out of the West? Anybody going to take the Angels or other?
Houston.
Houston?
Gonna win. Yeah, Houston.
You already
They're
said
dominant.
Houston, but you
Yeah.
like Seattle.
I want
likes
Seattle to win,
but they'll have it locked up by
Yeah.
June.
Yeah, Astros will have it locked up.
All right, I got the Astros, but I think the Angels. I like the Angels making a wild
Angels are
card
my-
spot.
You like Shohei.
I like Shohei, and I think Mike Trout's going to be a good enough player to carry a team here this year.
I agree.
Let's move to the NL East. Nationals, Mets, Phillies, Braves, or Marlins?
Nationals.
Nationals?
Bryce Harper and the
Anybody
Nationals.
not taking the Nationals?
Nationals with an early playoff exit.
Oh.
They changed managers, man. They changed managers.
Still an early playoff
Okay,
exit.
I like the Nationals as well, even though I think the Mets will get a little bit of a comeback this year. The Central, anybody not taking the Cubs? Anybody taking the sleeper Milwaukee Brewers?
Cubs.
Cubs?
Cubs are just dominant.
This is sort of boring here. Okay, I gotta go Cubs too. I like the Brewers, but
Yeah.
I want to take the Cubs. In the West, do the Dodgers win it again? I think for like a fourth straight year. Or anybody want to take
I
the
say Dodgers, but watch out for the Giants.
Dodgers?
Yeah.
This is going to stay boring. Dodgers.
Diamondbacks.
Whoa! We're going back to 2001 here.
Kirk Schilling
Diamondbacks.
and
Wow.
I went Diamondbacks.
Oh, man.
Diamondbacks. All right, World Series. Who you got coming out of the
Astros
AL?
over the Nationals.
Astros
Although
over the Nationals.
I just said the Nationals would make an early
confused.
playoff exit, Astros over the
I'm
Nationals
confused.
in Game 5.
I'm confused. 5 games?
Yeah, 5
Okay.
games.
Astros. All right, you got the Indians.
Yeah, Indians.
Winning it over.
Nationals. Indians, Nationals. Hey, Cleveland, be ready to party. this October.
Oh, okay. You going to also run for political office?
Yeah.
I support this message. I like the Indians out of the AL, but interesting nugget here. Past 3 years, the team who's won the World Series was the worst team in baseball 4 years prior. So 2018, who was the worst team in baseball in 2014? Anybody know?
The Atlanta Braves.
No.
Boston Red Sox.
No. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Whoa!
The Diamondbacks are going to win the World Series over the Indians in 7
Bold.
games. The Indians, Cleveland gets
bold.
heartbreak again. Heartbreak.
I think that's more bold than my Mariners making the playoffs.
Is it though? But I didn't say it
That's
was bold.
bold.
All right, let's take a break here. We're going to come back and talk my favorite thing, golf. Welcome back into After the Whistle. I am Jacob Townsend, Trey Adams, Seth Montgomery here to talk some golf. Guys, the Dell Technologies match play was this past weekend. Bubba Watson took down Kevin Kisner in the title game. A battle of a couple of Georgia Bulldogs, Trey. Bubba's getting hot. He's won twice now this season. He hasn't won in a while. He's already won twice this year, and he's about to go into his favorite course in a couple of weeks. What's your thoughts on what's going on with the PGA Tour?
Well, I'll admit I didn't watch one single second of the WGC Dell Technologies match play, partly because I hate Dell. Sorry, Dell. No, I'm just kidding. I hate HP. That's actually who I hate. But just a little bit of a recap. Bubba Watson picked up his 11th career victory, as you said. Beat Kevin Kisner pretty bad, winning a 7-6. He won in the Genesis Open in February, so he picked up his third victory in the tournament and second victory in 2018. So a big win for Bubba Watson, and that's very interesting with him getting a second win 2 weeks out from the Masters. Look for him to be a guy that could potentially pull an upset, do some stuff.
Good. He's won it twice.
Yeah.
He's won it twice.
He likes his green jackets.
Who doesn't?
I mean, I
things
do.
do look good.
I personally do. I don't have one, but I do.
Oh, I wish I did. I
Yeah.
wish I did. I did watch some golf because I always do. I watched Bubba a couple times. I saw him take down Kiradech Happy Barnrat on Saturday.
You're the only guy that I think I can pronounce that.
Well, I did it quick too. Kiradech Happy Barnrat, the Barnrat, as he's better known as. I loved what I saw from him there. He took down who's been the best player in the world lately, Justin Thomas, early Sunday in the semifinals. And Kisner looked tired. He had just went through a playoff to take down Alex Noren earlier on Sunday. He looked tired yesterday. I watched some of that while I was turning away from the basketball. But it was a great battle. A couple of Georgia Bulldogs, which has became the school for golf, it looks like, on the PGA Tour, with Bubba, Kisner, Brian Harmon, Patrick Reed spent a year there. You got Harris English, Chris Kirk. I mean, there's all kinds of Bulldogs on the tour. I was really impressed with what Bubba has going on. He just won a couple weeks ago, too, at the Genesis Open, as you said. He's really turning it around and looks to be certainly going to probably be on the Ryder Cup team in Paris this fall.
Yep.
So good thing for Bubba. Let's move on from that, Seth, and let's talk some Tiger Woods.
Oof.
Tiger's back, supposedly. He's not won yet. He has a second-place finish at the Valspar, right?
Yep.
Second place at the Valspar was third or fourth at the Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, he kind of fell off when he hit it
Yeah.
OB about like 15 or 16.
Yeah,
He fell
that
off.
my guy Rory McIlroy won. Paul Casey won the Valspar, first PGA Tour win in 9 years. Talk to us a little bit about Tiger.
Well, like we all said here, Tiger, he's kind of on the comeback. He finished tied for second 2 weeks ago. It was like he ended that 1,000-something drought that he finally broke. So, and the Masters are coming up. I say he's my dark horse to win the Masters. But my pick to win the Masters is I'm gonna go with Jordan Spieth.
Ooh,
Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
Okay.
Interesting
guy out
pick.
of Texas.
Okay. All right, I like that. I like that, Seth. Tiger's not the only one who's back, though, Trey. Phil Mickelson, my boy, got a win. I got a couple of boys, as you're going to find out here. I really like golf.
You got your favorite players.
Phil Mickelson won just 3 weeks ago, I think. I guess now 4 weeks ago at Mexico. Won the World Golf Championships there. First win for him since 2013 Open Championship at Muirfield. What's the thoughts on Phil?
Phil's back, baby.
Yeah.
He's back. I mean, I love it.
Aren't they all back?
WGC Mexico Championship. He wanted to play off. Justin Thomas had an incredible shot on the 72nd hole, but was no match for Mr. Mickelson, who was back, and he got his 43rd career victory. And then, of course, talking about Tiger Woods, you got to keep in mind, less than a year ago, Tiger, I thought, was done. You know, he got that DUI. He had went through another issue with back injury, and I really thought that his career was pretty much over. And then he comes out this year with a hell of a performance at the Valspar Championship. The back nine of the Bay Hill, or no, excuse me, the Arnold Palmer Invitational
At
now.
Bay Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm used to calling it Bay Hill
Yeah.
Invitational, but Bay Hill's a great golf course, by the
Sure.
way. But you know, looking back on those two tournaments, the ratings don't lie, the crowds don't lie. People are very interested in Tiger Woods. People want to see him win one. I think he wins one. I don't know if he's going to win one before any of the majors. I think that depending on how many tournaments he enters, I don't know how many he's going to enter this year. You know, in years past, he's entered certain tournaments that he normally wouldn't because he's trying to get back in the swing of things. But Tiger, I love it, man. I'm interested in golf again because Tiger's back. And not saying that I wasn't interested, but with him back, it just makes it more interesting now.
Yeah, it was announced this morning he will play in his tournament, the National in June at Congressional outside Maryland. That's the tournament he's hosted for years. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the one he wins.
Yeah.
I think he likes Congressional. That's a course that Rory McIlroy won his U.S. Open at by 11 shots. That's the tournament I would keep an eye on for Tiger to get that breakthrough win.
How about
I don't think it's going to
Memorial?
happen. Memorial, he's won that a ton.
Yeah.
I don't think that will be late May, if I remember right, for the Memorial. I think that's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Makes sense. If it doesn't happen at the National, keep an eye on the WGC Bridgestone in Akron the week before the PGA.
Yeah,
he's won that a ton.
Yeah, he's won that like 20,000 times.
He's won that a ton.
Is that where he did the shot in the dark?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where I would keep an eye out on him. I don't think his game's ready to win a major. I don't think he's ready to win the Masters. I don't know if his body's ready to take 72 holes of walking across Hilly Augusta National next week. I don't know if it is or not. We'll find out. I think that's what's going to keep an eye on. He's played well at the Valspar. He's played well at Bay Hill, and Bay Hill's that's a major course. It's a
Yeah.
major championship course. So I think that sheds some good light on him, though.
I'll be honest with you. The X factor for Tiger, and that's something that he's kind of struggled with the last two tournaments. Although he's been in contention to win, the X factor is, can he get over the hump? Can he make those 2 or 3 shots that's going to put him over the edge? It's going to take him to the lead. I mean, you know, he's played very well.
Yeah.
No question about it. But he's just not had that 2 or 3 shots to get him to the lead late in the tournament like he did in 2013, which was his last competitive year. So will he return to his 2013 form? Will he return to his 2000 form? You know, who knows? Probably not 2000, maybe 2013.
Yeah. The thing about Tiger is he's won 14 majors. In all 14, he has been the leader or co-leader going into the final round. So he's going to have to play well enough to get to that point. At least that's been the history of his career. He's never came back and won a major. So I think that's something to keep an eye on there too. If he can get hot started, in the past couple weeks at the Valspar, at the Arnold Palmer, he wasn't in the lead going to the final one. He got the lead at some point.
That's the thing
during
about
the
it
Sunday,
is that
but
he
never
struggled on
started.
moving
Yes.
day, and that's something that he's going to have to work on. If he can do well on moving day at Augusta, he's got a chance. If he doesn't, he's not going to win.
Yeah, that's Fred Couples. Fred Couples has been in the hunt the past
Poor
10
Fred.
years
Poor
at Augusta,
Fred.
and he gets to Saturday and his back can't hold up. That's been the problem. The 1992 Master Champion Fred Couples, roommate of Jim Nantz. Roommate of Jim Nantz. Don't forget that. That's,
you told me that the
if
other
you
day.
ever want to know who Jim Nantz is pulling for in a golf tournament, see if Fred Couples is in the field. Okay,
Yeah.
just keep an eye on if Fred Couples is in the field. All right, we were talking about Tiger and Phil making a resurgence. Rory McIlroy
Oh, your
got back
boy.
in the winner's
Your
circle.
boy.
I love Rory. I was telling Trey this the other day. I think he's the best player in the world when his A game is on. His A game is better than everybody else's, unless Tiger does get back to Tiger form. Rory is the best at his A game out of the modern player himself, Dustin Johnson, the Jason Days, Justin Thomases. Rory's the best, and we haven't seen it in a while. We haven't seen it since the end of 2014 when he won the Open Championship and the PGA at Valhalla in Louisville. So I think that's something that's going to be interesting to see. We're going to talk about in the next segment who we like in the Masters. Seth already said he likes already the 2015 champion Jordan Spieth. We'll see if he can get that. You've got a pick that I already know about.
I'm going to save it for the next
I'm going to save it
segment,
as well.
yep.
I'm going to save mine as well, but I'm just going to give you this hint. We've already talked about it. We've already talked about it, who I've got winning Augusta. Okay?
Whoa, is it Angel Cabrera?
We haven't talked about Angel Cabrera.
Oh,
and
man.
you know, Angel had his chance in 2013.
Yeah.
He was in the playoff against Adam Scott and lost in the rain.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll talk about if Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, they've not been playing great of late. Can they hold up? We'll see if that can happen for them. I would be surprised. Dustin didn't get to play last year because of the staircase incident. That is really interesting, but we'll see what happens with
I remember
them.
that.
He's got drama around him, so we'll see. All right, let's take our break here on After the Whistle, and we'll come back and talk some Masters. Welcome back into After the Whistle. We're now moving on with our golf topics. We got the schedule coming up. We got the Houston Open, not the Shell Houston Open, the Houston Open
I didn't get to slap you
coming
this
up.
time.
I should have said it just for you to slap me. You deserve that right, Trey. But you'll be able to slap the viewers with your hot take next segment.
Yeah, I will.
Boom. Masters coming up the week after that, then the RBC Heritage. Is that the one in South Carolina?
One of my favorite tournaments and one of my favorite courses in America.
That's the one where you get the plaid jacket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
And then Valero Texas Open the week after that, getting back into Texas, which we will be at this week, and we'll get back in there after the Masters and the RBC. Do you have a pick for the Houston Open?
Well, I looked at some of the notables earlier today. Ricky Fowler, Matt Kuchar, Phil Mickelson, Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, Henrik Stenson.
Yep.
Phil is somebody that I always like in this tournament, but I'm going to go Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler gets back into form.
He's going to get hot right before the Masters.
He played well at the Masters last year until the final round. Him and Jordan Spieth both fell off. Out of those names, you got a pick for the Houston Open this week, Seth?
I'm going to go with Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson, okay. All right, he likes Phil to get set ready. Phil always loves to play the week before a major. Always does every year.
That's smart.
I tell you, I like Justin Rose. I like where his game is. He was right in the hunt. Where was that, at the Arnold Palmer that he was right in the hunt?
Both Valspar and Arnold Palmer.
Both of them, yeah. I like Justin Rose's game. Fell apart. He thought he had the Masters last year and got it taken away from him in the playoff by Sergio Garcia. I think Justin may be trying to get his form back in shape to get ready to see if he can get the green jacket this time.
I didn't realize Justin Rose has not won many PGA Tour events. I think he won somewhere like 9 or 10 or something like that. That was really interesting
Bubba,
to me.
Bubba's got 2 majors, but Justin Rose only has 1. I would say Justin Rose has been the better golfer across his career than Bubba Watson. But I think Justin is the one with the Olympic gold medal. But
That's something pretty cool.
Bubba has 11 PGA Tour wins after yesterday, and you said Justin has 9?
I think it was somewhere like 9 or 10 that I saw the other day. That kind of surprised me, though.
Yeah,
but
one of the really good players of our generation. Got the Masters after that, the RBC Heritage. We'll see who's back into steel. I see Brant Snedeker on that list. I love Brant in those sort of conditions that you get at the RBC. You also got a champ from a few years ago, Matt Kuchar.
Yeah. How about Daniel Summerhays?
The Mormon.
Love me some Summerhays. Chaz Reavie.
Chaz Reavie, yeah. Lost in a playoff at the Waste Management Phoenix Open back in February on Super Bowl Sunday.
My pick for the RBC Heritage, he plays really well here after the Masters, Matt Kuchar.
Matt Kuchar. Yeah, he won it before. I will go with a name who you don't have on your list. I'm going to guess he plays there. He's been close a lot there. Luke Donald.
Luke Donald. That's a good
pick. Luke Donald, the former world number 1. I like him there. All right, let's move on to a little bit of a funner topic in golf, since some people don't like golf. I don't understand it, but some people don't. Tony Romo played this past week in the Corrales, something another that was going on outside the match play. Finished dead last, did not make the cut. Had a really good first 11 holes, though, where he was pars, even par. What's your thoughts on how Tony fared, Trey?
I loved our conversation that day about what the over-under was, about what he
Where
would
did we
shoot.
put it at, 74.5?
I think I had him at 5 over,
Okay.
and you had it at 74.5.
Yeah.
And when you texted me and told me that he was even par, I was like, wow. I mean, even par. I mean, for Tony Romo, who's never played in the PGA Tour event before, besides the AT&T program, which he didn't play as a professional.
You don't get
But Tony Romo, I mean, played well. You know, I didn't really expect him to make the cut, and it wasn't surprising for me to see him finish dead last. But, you know, I think if Tony Romo can have a couple of tournaments, maybe he can make the cut. It's kind of similar to what happened with Randy Moss a couple of years ago. He played on what was then the Nationwide Tour, now the Web.com Tour. Randy didn't fare as well as Tony Romo did, which is not saying a lot, but I think Tony Romo can make one cut, maybe two cuts. He's never going to win a tournament.
No.
Kind of like he never won a Super Bowl. But
You know Tony's my boy. That's in golf.
yeah, he's good at broadcasting, not good at golf.
He's good at golf for an amateur.
An
amateur is good at golf.
Yeah, I mean, he's good for an amateur, not good for a professional.
Is he Jordan Spieth? No.
Is he Tiger? Absolutely not.
No.
Well, he could have been about 3 months ago. But I like Tony. Like I said, I expected him to do pretty poorly in a PGA Tour. He's going against professionals who are trying to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
We've seen it a couple times where John Smoltz did this, played very poorly. I believe he finished last. John Smoltz, a really good putter, couldn't make a putt on the PGA Tour. You get the yips, you get that pressure.
Hey,
John
listen,
Smoltz, really good postseason pitcher. Wasn't good on the PGA Tour with
Listen,
pressure.
when you get to the 13 greens, the 14 greens, you're a little bit in trouble.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Seth, what's your thoughts on Tony Romo? And should the PGA Tour maybe offer these exemptions to other former athletes?
I think Tony Romo should stick to broadcasting and call them audibles. I agree with Trey here that give him a few more tournaments and I think he can make the cuts. I mean, if he can just put in that practice, I think he can make it. And then I think they should open it to former athletes because what else? I mean, they have time to do other stuff. So let's see what they got.
Okay.
Former NFL players, MLB, let's see what they got.
Let's have some fun with this here, Trey. 3 athletes or famous people that you want to see on the PGA Tour.
Oh, yes.
You get first picks with your 3.
I
Go
have
ahead.
been waiting for this for the last 3 hours ever since I thought of this. Rapid fire, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Okay.
I think of the 3 that I have on my list, he has the best chance to make the cut.
I agree.
Number 2,
I don't know if these other
I
2
agree.
play golf.
but if they did,
Yeah, okay.
I would want them paired together. Bill Walton. He would say the
I
most
love my driver.
off-the-wall, blankety-blank. I mean, you'd have to follow him around for
Yeah.
18 holes with a mic because he's just
You
crazy.
couldn't go by a bush with that guy. He talked to you about why it needs to be legalized.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that something that he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And my last guy, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to pass on Nicolas Cage. You got Bill Walton, Peyton Manning,
Bill
throw 'em all in
Walton,
on, and
Nicolas
then-
Cage teamed up together. You would watch. I would watch.
I would
everybody
watch because Peyton's in it, and I like Bill, but Nicolas Cage, I mean,
No,
this
I'm
is
not
a
talking
national
about,
treasure.
not
I'm trying to
talking
watch
about-
golf.
I'm not talking about Peyton Manning in the group. I'm talking about Bill and Nicholas.
I watch Bill. I don't care about
Ghost
Nicholas.
Rider and Hawaiian shirt.
I love my bike.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Seth. Who's your 3?
Well, Peyton Manning, of course.
Okay.
Michael Jordan,
Okay.
and let's go with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah.
All 3 of those play golf.
Yeah, they
on
do.
occasion.
Yeah. You see, you're guessing that maybe Bill Walton plays golf. I'm going to go down. He's like 7 feet tall. He's going to have some pretty long
Nah, he doesn't
clubs.
play golf. I just
Yeah.
would love to see it.
Okay, all right. And then
I know he doesn't play golf.
For mine, I'm going to go with John Smoltz,
Okay.
Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. You get the big 3 from my Braves and the Nines. There you go. If I could walk around with one grouping one day, let's walk around with those guys. Tell me some Bobby Cox stories. What was Chipper like as a rookie?
You got to be fun, Jacob.
Yeah.
That is
You gotta-
fun. That is
you
a
gotta
whole
branch out
bunch
a
of
little
fun
bit.
for this guy. I don't care about all these people. Bunch of fun for this guy.
This guy.
This guy.
Okay.
All right, let's do some Masters predictions, Trey. Who you got? Give me a pick and give me a sleeper. And who's going to be a disappointment? Give me a disappointment. too.
Okay.
I want all 3 of those.
Henrik Stenson as your champion.
Okay.
Dark horse, Tiger. Disappointment, Rory. I don't trust Rory at Augusta. Sorry. He blew a couple of leads in
He
the
blew
past.
one, 2011. He had the big lead. He blew it. Charles
blew it.
Schwartzel came back and won.
That's
Okay.
That's where my distrust for Rory McIlroy came from.
Okay, all right. Seth, you already told us your winner's Jordan Spieth. Give
Yeah.
me a surprise player.
Tiger Woods, and disappointment, Nicholson.
Mickelson's
Yeah,
going to
Mickelson.
disappoint
Yeah,
us?
he's going to disappoint us.
Ah, jeez. Okay. He's such a hater in my field, man. You know, one week he thinks Phil's going to win Houston, then he's going to
Yeah.
be a disappointment. I just don't understand. Okay, winner, Rory McIlroy. He's going to get the career Grand Slam.
don't
It hurts
trust
me
him.
that he's going to get the career Grand Slam before Phil because Phil still needs the U.S. Open, which maybe we'll have another show for Shinnecock Hills. I don't know. But I like Rory in 2 weeks in Augusta. The player to keep an eye on, the player who won the Valspar Championship, Paul Casey, been really good in the majors of
Wow.
late. Paul's a good ball striker. He's going to be able to make some putts. Keep an eye on him. Give me a top 10 finish for Paul. And disappointment, give me Justin Thomas. He's playing really well right now. I think he's going to fall off. I think you could see some of the trouble coming for him this past weekend at the match play. You saw him lose to Luke List in the first round. You saw him lose in the semis to Bubba Watson. You saw him lose in the consolation match to Alex Noren, which could be a really good Ryder Cup matchup just to keep an eye on for the fall. I'm going to keep an eye on Justin Thomas. I think he's going to disappoint. And I hate to say it, I think Dustin Johnson may miss the cut too. I think we're all really pumped up about the Masters and what could come. I think we may have some disappointments more than we will have surprise. And if I had to guess, I think we'll maybe even get a surprise winner. If it's not Rory, maybe it's Luke
Angel
List.
Cabrera.
I don't think Angel gets to play. I don't know if Angel gets to play.
He is a former champion.
Not at the Oh, he is at the Masters. You're right. Yeah. So he does get to play.
Yeah,
You're right.
He's got a chance.
He can play.
You got to trust
104.
You got to trust him.
I don't have to. No.
Well, you don't, but
Speaking
I
of a bad Masters, 2008 playoff between him, Chad Campbell, and Kenny Perry, bad. CBS hated themselves.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back, and you get Trey's hot take. I know you can't wait for it. It's going to be atrocious. I'm going to fall asleep. See you after the break. Welcome back to After the Whistle. It's my least favorite time of the week. It is time for Trey's hot take.
Hot take.
Go ahead, Trey.
Are you ready for it?
No, but
Are you
it's
sure
a
you're
part
ready
of the
for it?
contract or something like that, they say.
Okay. Well,
Go
it's
ahead.
worth $1 million. Oh. So, you know, I know my love, or Jacob's love for golf runs very deep. I got an idea for golf. The PGA Tour, write this
doesn't
down,
need
it's $1
help.
million idea. Sometime in the summer, like the John Deere Classic. Nobody gives a damn about that tournament.
Zach Johnson does.
Yeah, he does, but who cares about him? But in the final round of the John Deere Classic, or any other tournament for that matter, every golfer should have to take at least 3 shots of Grey Goose before entering the golf course, entering the playing area. Make it exciting. Make them stagger around the 18th green as they try to putt for birdie. And then, for baseball, Jacob's asleep right now, but for baseball, camera 1, oh, okay, it's just reaction. Camera 2, come back to camera 2. Okay, baseball, too damn long. 162 games, cut it to 81. Do I really want to watch 162 games? I did that in 2013 when the Braves won the NL East. I did that. I wasted a lot of time. 81 games. Let's make it happen. There's your hot take of the week. Jacob, you can wake up now.
Oh, thank you. I heard that last part. That's atrocious.
You don't like baseball being cut in half?
No.
No.
162 games. I want to watch my Braves. You're messing with my Braves.
Another hot take. What if ESPN decides that
They will die. Me and Clay Travis are joining. We'll be joining forces, which will be one hell of a duo. And we're taking down ESPN if they try to take away my
You're not a Clay
Braves.
Travis fan, are you?
I'm not a big fan, no, but if they take away my Braves, we're joining forces on many things, including something you talked about during the commercial earlier in the show. But
Yeah.
we're going to come back to something we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. Greatest tournament ever. Is this the greatest tournament of all time?
I don't think it's the greatest of all time.
Okay, what is? Give me a year, Seth.
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Butler.
Kimba, right?
Butler.
Yeah.
That's Kimba. Who else was in the Final Four that year? Kentucky. Brandon Knight, Terrence Jones. Okay, all right, not bad. Trey?
Greatest of all time goes to the 2018 NCAA tournament. One of the reasons being 16 beats a 1. Another reason, Sister Jean and the Ramblers. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Living on a prayer, as I like to call it. Bon Jovi's making millions. I'm telling you, 2018, best NCAA tournament of all time. No question about it. And there's been so much excitement throughout the tournament. So much unpredictability. Arizona, the FBI.
Oh, yeah, keep stepping on my face with that,
breathing
will ya?
down their neck, and the Buffalo Bulls dropping 15 to 30 on them.
Yeah, when did Nate Oates become an FBI agent? Huh?
You know, I don't know. And in Kentucky, in that same region, I mean, I know that our executive producer, Brandon, is not going to like this mention, but unfortunately, Kentucky did not have the best of results in the NCAA tournament.
Lost to
But
Kansas State.
that was a huge surprise. That was a huge surprise. That entire South region was one big cluster. There's just been so many good games. I mean, how about, all the buzzer beaters that we've seen? Michigan, they beat Houston.
Beautiful.
That was a great game.
Beautiful.
Just so many good basketball games. In my opinion, this has been one of the most exciting tournaments that I've ever seen.
I think it's been exciting. I think it's been well played. I think the woman that we saw on television during the Houston-Michigan game sitting next to Elvin Hayes was beautiful. But I don't think it's been the best. Again, your Final Four is Villanova. That doesn't bring in fans. Kansas, and brings in fans every once in a while, but their best player is Devontae Graham. Who? Yeah, that's what I said. Appalachian State almost got him. Michigan, I love Michigan, love John Beilein. Just got a new grandson yesterday. His son Patrick's going to become the new head coach at Marist. I'll pass. And then you get Loyola. And as much as you wish they brought in a lot of viewers, they don't. Nobody cares about Sister Jean. She's old. No one cares.
Oh.
No one cares. No one cares.
Are you going to pull a Cody McClear in this show?
No, I will not. I will
Oh,
not.
you should. You should.
I should, but I'm not going to. I'm going to extend the show this way.
Is the same.
Okay, hello, voice of God.
We had God just tell us that Sister
yeah.
Jean is a saint.
Was that the Pope?
I think it was.
I don't know. I don't know where to go after that, but here's just the way I'm going to leave this here, Trey.
Okay.
Not great, probably top 10. And congratulations to Penny Collins to become the new head coach at Tennessee State. We'll see you next week on After the Whistle for some wrestling.